Yes, that's right. It's Joe here for Joyrider TV, out on the Minicat for a very interesting test, and that is to see how the speed compares on this bad boys to conventional sailing boats. So I thought the best way that we could do this comparison is actually in a race. Yes, we've entered the Wild Wind Race Day mixed fleet. Okay, 33 seconds to go. Just see if we can hold it here for as long as possible. 26. Okay, the fleet have I think they've seen what we're up to, and they've started to come up on us. Okay, 15 seconds. 10, 9. I got the nod of assurance from Sam on the committee boat there, and we are away. Got the sails in tight, and I'm just going to steer. Windward mark is over there, and as you would probably expect, these Hobie Tigers are getting away from us. I was going to expect that. Okay, timer says we're done. I can shut that down now. You do have a bit more time to do things on a Minicat. Yeah, and we've got a Hobie 16 coming over the top of us. And it does feel like we haven't gone very far, and we've been sailing for a bit of time already. So, yeah, I am going to say we are not competitive in this fleet. Okay, so angles, actual sailing angle in this wind, by the way, the wind is probably, I don't know, about 6, 7 knots, 8 knots. And yeah, the angle is probably, what am I going to say, about 4 or 5 degrees lower than a Hobie 16. So not that bad, but certainly not quite as good. The reason behind that is because we've just got these little skegs underneath, which aren't going to give us quite as much leeway resistance, but also I still haven't found a way to get the luff of the jib any tighter. So if you're a Minicat sailor and you've got a method for getting your jib luff nice and tight, do let us know, because I think that will help our pointing ability somewhat. Okay, so I've regrouped with the fleet, and I just thought it'd be a bit more interesting to see some speed comparison on the downwind course. So ahead is an FX1, Hobie Tiger, Hobie 16. Hobie 16 just behind as well. So I'm just going to try to match the angle to start with, see how that looks. I certainly wouldn't expect to be quite as quick. Yeah, I didn't think so. So you can see the speed at which this 16 is just dominating me on the downwind leg. Yeah, it's not much wind I'm stealing. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to opt for straight downwind because the angles certainly aren't going to work for us. So I'm just watching the fleet sail off there. I'm going to come right up to the front beam, and we are goose swinging, so the jib is out on the windward side, whereas we've picked up an RS200, a quick monohull with a spinnaker. Yes, unfortunately we can't match the speed of that bad boy on this course. Perhaps I'm not quite deep enough downwind to really let the dominance of the Minicat shine on this downwind leg. There we go, maybe that's a bit better. Gonna do a bit of foot on boom just to avoid the accidental jibe. We're on starboard tack, so we've got right of way. If anybody coming across from the other side of the course, can't quite see that way at the moment because my position, as you can see, has become quite awkward. Oh, you can really pin it round the mark on the Minicat with it being so small. And there we are. Just one more leg left up to the finish line. And our competition, so it seems, is the RS200. They're going for attack. We're going to cover. Nice. Oh, bad tack on the Mini. Yeah, get that jib in. Yeah, you do find yourself a little bit short of hands, main and jib single-handed, but pretty good. So we're head to head with an RS200 on this upwind leg, and it does seem like we have got the edge. Again, remember this is wind's picked up a little bit. It's probably about 7 knots now, maybe even 8 at a push. Yeah, they're just getting away a little bit. Again, it's our pointing ability that is letting us down a bit here. Okay, so we've got coming up behind us James in a Wasp. He's clearly not foiling, there's not quite enough wind for that, but he still does seem a little bit swifter than the Inflatable. Just bearing off a bit for the mark. Let's see who's got the pace on this mark rounding. James is grinning, he thinks he's got it, but I think he hasn't seen the firepower of this rude boy. As we come down, easing sails as we come down, and I am going for the dead run, so I don't think there's much to be gained by going for the angles on this. Yeah, I think James is a bit intimidated by the sail area on the Minicat, and with the Wasp in non-foiling mode, I'd have to say it's not that much. There's not that much in it. Okay, that's it. It's 1 minute to go. Next start, and I'm mixing it up with the monohulls. I think this is going to be a little bit more tricky than the catamaran start. God, this is looking dangerous. 10 seconds to go. This is a pretty unique situation that I'm in here. Gosh, and I am being absolutely destroyed from all angles, but here we go. All right, so we've got a laser standard just to windward, going a bit faster. Yeah, I'm in quite a decent amount of dirty wind here, but it's all about the speed comparison, not so much about the racing result. All right, so I think there's conclusive proof that the Minicat doesn't like it in that much dirty wind, and I never thought you'd get that much dirty wind off a fleet of lasers, but there you go, they're just hoovering it up. Okay, so conclusion from that experience: upwind, we're pretty much being destroyed by everyone, but on the downwind, pretty competitive, to be honest.